My job is currently at Kent State University. I am their outdoor adventure program coordinator. I have outdoor wilderness first aid, wilderness first responder training. So my wife Miranda and I were out hiking on Labor Day last year, September 2017, and it was a really nice September day. Sunny. It was around 2:30, I think, or 2 o'clock when we went out, and it was a nice summer afternoon, and we wanted to go hiking for the Summit Hiking Spree series, and so we chose the Glen Trail in the Gorge Metroparks area. We were at the end of the trail. It was a really short trail, and it was too short for me. I said, hey, let's keep going. There was a little side trail, and I said, let's see if we can get a good view of the river, because I'm a kayaker and I love to look at water. So we hiked down about 40 or 50 feet, and I realized it was a little bit too dangerous, so we stopped hiking, took the views in, looking down at the river. I looked down kind of to the left side. I noticed there was a man kind of hunched over, kind of sitting. I thought he was sitting, Miranda thought he was standing. After looking at him for a few more seconds, I realized something was off. He was only wearing one shoe, and I thought that was strange, and I saw a lot of red around him that looked like blood. So I yelled down, I think I said, hey, are you okay? And he said, yes. And I said, okay, are you hurt? Because at that point, something is definitely off. And he said, yes. So he said he's okay, but he said he's hurt. And I said, do you need help? And he said, no. It was a little strange. I thought maybe he had just twisted his ankle. That's why his shoe was off. But then I couldn't get over the red stuff that was around him. I decided to go down and help him. So I told another hiker to call 911 just in case it was serious. I told Miranda to stay there and keep an eye on me, and I didn't want her to come down and risk her getting hurt as well. So I kind of safely went down this trail that I normally wouldn't go down. As soon as I got down to him, I realized how bad of shape he was in. He kind of turned around, and I could see a laceration on his head, kind of from here down. And it was split open pretty wide, and then I could see that he definitely had some broken legs and a broken arm. So one of the worst injuries I've seen in person, and I'm not sure exactly where he fell from. The top is about 80 feet. There's another little ledge about 50 feet up. So I'm thinking he fell from one of those two places. Either way, it's a straight down drop. I think what happened is that he fell and landed in one place, and maybe passed on there for a little bit because that's where a lot of the blood was. And then he had, I think, crawled down in shock down to where I found him, about 10 feet away from that area. I was thinking, I've never seen anybody this close to death in person, because I didn't know if he was about to pass out and not wake up again. I'd seen how much blood he lost, and I'd seen the deformities in his legs and his arm, and I knew that he was freaking out and he was scared. I didn't know how long he had been there. So a lot of unknowns. I didn't have a first aid kit. I didn't have anything except the clothes I was wearing. So I took off my shirt and made a little bandana for his head, and put that around his head. And then I held his neck in place so he wouldn't move, because I knew that he had probably a neck or spine injury. We're trained not to have contact with blood and not give CPR without a mask, and that's a personal decision. But all those things were going through my mind while trying to make sure he thought he was going to be okay. I kept saying the firemen are on their way, we're going to get you out of here, and I honestly wasn't sure if that was true or not. So I started to ask him questions, if he remembered anything, if he knew his name, which he didn't remember initially. He remembered a couple of small things, like what street he lived on, and then later realized his name was Anthony, and kept him calm, continued to ask questions, really just trying to keep him awake. And so as we were sitting there, to make matters worse, I started realizing that there are bees all over us, probably 10 to 15 bees, kind of landing on me, landing on him. And I was like, hey, Anthony, do you have a allergy to bees or anything? And he didn't think so. So we waited for a while. The fire department finally arrived, and we established communication. We talked on the phone, and I told him that this guy's gonna need an evacuation, completely assisted. and that he had several broken limbs and a really bad cut on his head. We kept asking him, do you have any other medical issues, kind of a medical history assessment? And he just kept saying, like, I'm hurt real bad, I need help, get me out of here. I think it was about 2 hours before we got him out. They had to put a boat in downstream and drive the boat up and then load him onto the boat. I don't know, I don't really feel like a hero. I feel that some people view me as that because I did put myself in a little bit of danger to help him out. I think that I would do that for anybody. I'm trained at that level to help out, and I'm just kind of aware of things, and was aware that, hey, that guy looks like he might need help. I'm gonna go check it out.